Hey guys, Dr. Mongeon here, drmongeon.com, Doctor of Functional Medicine. In this video today, I want to talk to you about one of the most common things that I see in my clinical practice when it comes to people that work out. And by the way, most of them work out too much. Now, I do come from a little bit of authority when it comes to this because in front of me here, I have some finishing medals of things that back in the day seemed pretty cool. So for example, here's a half Ironman finisher from half Ironman Kansas. Here's a mountain bike race finish. Looks like a bronze medal in that. And then this is my finisher's medal from Ironman Wisconsin. Now these things look cool, and it was a neat experience. And I'm not trying to take away the experience. However, what happened to me on these, preparing for these, was I completely smoked my system. My labs after these events were horrible. My stress hormones were extraordinarily high. My hormones were completely off kilter. My body was insulin resistant. I had all kinds of stuff going on. So what I had to do is what I now do with most of my patients that walk into my clinic that have gym memberships or do certain workout programs. And this is my cure for what I call chronic cardio. You see, I'm going to walk through the things that I exactly do, and I also need you guys to do to help reboot your systems. In the TEAMS approach, remember, T stands for how we think, E stands for how we eat, what we eat, when we eat it, supplements that we take, why we're taking them, how long we take them. A is accountability, and M is movement, which we're going to talk a ton about in this video right here, and then S is sleep. So movement specific. Unless you are one of my patients and you are an iron distance triathlete or an Olympic wrestler, for example, we need to be wise and understanding of how your body works when it comes to listening to your body, letting it talk to us to tell us whether it's recovered or not, and then to do the proper workouts on the front end to build the foundation that we need for our body at a metabolic ability to work well. Now, I'm going to talk about cardio in this video, and a lot of people will say cardio is bad for you, and I agree unless it's done properly. Most people are like, it's all about HIIT workouts, it's all about high intensity intervals. Now we do those also, however, we don't start there. By the way, there is actually a specific DNA test that we can do on you to figure out which one is best for you to do. So that might be something to consider, is one of those specific DNA tests that we can now do, a genetic test. So I'm going to walk through what I am currently doing 100% in my day-to-day activities. So first and foremost, when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I sit up in my bed and I put on this Bluetooth heart rate strap. This particular model is a Polar H7, I don't know, 40, 50 bucks on Amazon. And I put this on and then I pair it to my phone. I have a heart rate variability app on my phone. It's called NatureBeat. It's through Ben Greenfield. By the way, I'm actually one of Ben Greenfield's certified superhuman coaches. So I've gone through his extensive training program to be able to give you the tools that you need to hack and quantify all these things. So every morning I measure my heart rate variability. What that tells me is how recovered I am. It tells me if my body's ready to go for a workout today or not. I mean, think of this. When I was training for my Ironman, I mean, my workout program was set. I never had technology like this. I never had something to tell me, you got to take today off. And by the way, could you imagine like planning your week around a Saturday morning long run or long bike, and you wake up and your nervous system tells you that you're not recovered well enough? I mean, that would probably cause me some anxiety, but looking back, it would probably save me several years of recovery trying to get back from where I was. So heart rate variability, first thing in the morning. It takes 3 minutes, you guys. So what I do is I sit up, put my strap on, lay back down, take some nice big cleansing breaths. I think about what I'm grateful for, and after 3 minutes, this little thing dings at me, and I'm done, I'm ready to go. The next part of my workouts in the morning are a fasted true cardiovascular workout. So many years ago, I got made aware of a guy named Dr. Phil Maffetone. And Phil Maffetone is a chiropractor that's very well known for training Mark Allen prior to him winning all of his Hawaii Ironman World Championships. Dr. Maffetone has what he calls the 180 formula. And you can go and you can Google Maffetone, the 180 formula. I'll put a link under the video here. But he has a very specific formula to figure out exactly where your cardiovascular range is. So it's very specific. It's called the 180 formula. So what you do, and I'll go through it, but I want you to download this and do it yourself. So you take 180 and you subtract your age. Now I'm 38. So 180 minus 38 is 142. So that's my initial baseline. What I do then is there's a handful of questions that we have to ask. The first question says, are you recovering from an illness, or do you take any regular medication? Now, I'm not doing either of those, so my number stays the same. If you are recovering from an illness, or you're on any regular medication, you subtract 10 from that top number. The second option would be that you're injured, you've regressed in training, you have 2 or more colds or flus a year, you have allergies, you have asthma, or you're just getting back into training. You would then take that top number, in my case 142, and you would subtract 5 from that number. So that would give me 137 as my top number. The last one is, the next one rather, is if you've been consistently training about 4 times a week for up to 2 years with no issues, then that number stays the same. So the top number is 142 in my case. And lastly, if you've been consistently training for more than 2 years, no injuries, no issues, no setbacks, then you can actually add 5 beats to this. So in my case, that would take it to 147 as my top number. So what you create with this then is a range. So I actually keep my number right at 142. So my true aerobic range is 132 beats per minute to 142 beats per minute. So when I run or ride my bike, that is my target range. I do not go above that at all. What Dr. Maffetone has found in his research is that if you go above it, all of a sudden, so in that aerobic range, you have to understand that you're burning fat as your primary fuel source. When you go above that into that anaerobic phase, then your body really tries to pull in your glycogen stores or your sugar stores. And Dr. Maffetone says if you go above it even for a little bit, you have blown the whole workout. So when I go for my workouts, if I'm going for a run, I wear just a simple heart rate strap, watch rather, and I have a heart rate strap on. When I ride my bike, I have a computer on my bike that can read my heart rate, and I still wear a heart rate strap. Now, if you do both those things, and I like to do both those things because I've got some bum knees from playing football for too many years, it's nice to mix things up. Now, I'm 6'4", 210 pounds. I don't like to always run on concrete, so I like to go find like a limestone trail or a gravel road to run on. It's a little bit softer for my body, but we want to make sure that we're staying within that. Now, the other thing is how long you're going at these components. Now, I'm in fairly good shape, but I'm not training for a half marathon, a marathon, not even a 5K or a 10K. By the way, I'm training for life. And when I tell people now, they're like, dude, Greg, what are you going for? What's your workout program? And I tell them very clearly, my motive now is that I want to do something now for my body that when I'm 85 or 90 years old, I will say, I'm so glad that I did that. So I do 30 minutes of in that aerobic range 4 to 6 times a week, and it has allowed me to feel amazing. My blood labs are really turning around from a hormonal standpoint, and if you're not doing this, by the way, if this gives you a little bit of a stomach ache even watching this, like, man, I couldn't do that. That I don't think, I'm so used to going so hard, then you're probably the one that needs to try this out. And it doesn't cost a lot of money, you guys. I mean, the Bluetooth heart rate strap's about $40. I think the app is $5 to $10. And you can get a good heart rate strap for maybe $30 to $60. I mean, you can spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars if you want to. What I want to tell you though is if you don't have one of these things, just buy a cheap one. And sometimes even those, if you have like a Fitbit, sometimes those things can tell you your heart rate. But we just have to understand that it's time to start listening to our bodies. It's time to stop trying to keep up with your friends in spin class. By the way, I don't go on group runs, I don't go on group rides, because I know that right now I need to be minding myself and staying within my range. And what you're gonna find when you do this, as my phone's ringing on me, what you're gonna find as you do this is that you're gonna get faster with working the same rate. So that's what you're gonna find as you go through this. So when I first started doing these runs, I was at like 11-minute miles. Now, frankly, that's painfully slow. What happened then is as I stay in this range and I continue to get better and better, I can go faster and my heart rate drops. So my run the other day, I was about 8-minute, 30-second miles, all within 132 to 142. So give this a shot. For people that are a part of our coaching program, this is exactly what we want you to do. Those that are receiving weekly coaching from us. By the way, if you're not a part of our coaching program, we have this amazing opportunity that you get to work with myself every month, and then every week you get on a call with one of my certified health coaches, and they're familiar with all of this work. And I know that we can come alongside of you, whether you got weight loss resistance, thyroid issues, your gut is off. We have people that have dementia, people that just want to live a better life. So if this interests you, reach out to us. You can do what's called a free discovery call with us, which is where you get a chance to get on the phone with me specifically. By the way, I can't fix every case. Yet I've been doing this long enough that I know what I'm pretty good at fixing. So if that's you, look us up, drmongeon.com, find us on Facebook, reach out to us, and we'll at least do that call with you. If we're a fit, we can take the next step and do the full initial evaluation. If not, I will give you my best recommendations. So with that, love to give you the tools that you deserve to live the life you are designed to live.